Yo, welcome back. We are in the Great League here, and today we have a different team. We're going to be using the Samurott with the Trevenant and the Regis here. We get met with a Talonflame in the front, so we got a great lead right there. They weren't expecting Waterfall. They switch into the Vigoroth right here. We switch into our Regi. Because we can do these Focus Blasts, we're for sure going to get some big damage or a shield. Our opponent ends up electing to let it go. And we are going to be able to get to a Zap Cannon right here to basically get a shield. And then we do get the debuff, which allows him to get this extra Incinerate in. So a little bit unfortunate right there, but now we have the Talonflame that is debuffed, and it's going to be throwing these Fly. So we have to shield this next one here so that we can switch into our Trevenant. Our Trevenant here does wall this Lantern, but they do have a shield, so this is actually closer than you might think. We're going to throw this Seed Bomb right here to get some initial damage here. And now this is a decision that we have to make. We're going to go for the farm down because we actually want our Pokemon to go down so that we can get our Samurott in. And we are able to do that. The Samurott is only going to have to throw fast moves, and we do win the game right there. So a little bit of a tricky end game right there, but recognizing only using fast moves and not throwing the move immediately with that Trevenant wins us the game. So next game here, let's see what we find. Samurott versus this Venusaur. Absolute bad matchup. We're going to switch into our Regi here. Our opponent hasn't swapped out yet. Okay, now they switch, and they have, what is that, an Umbreon? Ooh, Umbreon switching. So that's telling us they do not want to see this Registeel. If Umbreon is your best counter to the Registeel here, we might have to consider shielding at some point here, but we're going to throw this next Focus Blast. They do let it go. What do they have? What are they going to bring? Okay, they end up bringing the Frost Blast right there, so you can see their entire team not very good to this Regi and absolutely wrecking their entire team here. We know that even if they had, shielded, we would have been able to throw our Samurott at that Frost Blast to do some good neutral damage, and then we would have had Trevenant on their Venusaur for the win. So GG's to our opponent right there. If you want to think about it another way, the Samurott has a good pairing with the Trevenant, as they cover most of each other's weaknesses, and Registeel is just gonna general safe swap here. All right, we are back here. We found a match against Alejandro, I believe. We have a Dragonair here. Dragonair, we're just going to switch out and just see what they have in the back. We do bait out the Swampert here, and we do get a shield. So this Swampert here can throw Earthquake if they want. Okay, they do like to go for the Earthquake for the KO. And then now we're going to go into our Samurott here because we don't want the Samurott to be met against the Dragonair. And at this point, we had a chance to throw a move right there, but we decide that we're just going to one-shield farm down and then save this energy for maybe something more useful in the back. Unfortunately, they have the Jellicent in the back. This Jellicent is going to be able to be really good against our Samurott. So unfortunately, the Samurott in this situation couldn't find the right matchup. That Dragonair and that Jellicent were able to basically beat it in its matchup, and then we're just asking for too much with this Trevenant here. Trevenant, unfortunately, wasn't able to beat the Jellicent and the Dragonair in the back. So GG's to our opponent right there. On to the next game. Will we be able to find a game fast, or will it take a good amount of time? Next game, we do get a game. Okay, perfect. Now we have Samurott versus the Dugong. Okay, both of us are doing resistive fast moves here. They are able to get to their neutral draw run here first, so we allowed that to go through. Both of us are using 3-turn moves, so it doesn't matter when we throw it. We're going to go for that Mega Horn right there that does pretty decent damage, not going to lie. Big Mega Horn damage. And then here, we're forcing them to use some energy. Ends up being the draw run, which is fine. And then here, we know we can survive one move, so we're going to allow it to go through, and we're looking for the farm down. Our opponent actually allows us to get to 100 energy, and then we're going to farm down with our Trevenant. The Trevenant ends up sniping the energy of the Dugong, and the fact that they bring in a Venusaur into a Trevenant match tells us that they don't want to see this Trevenant in the back. So we're going to go for this bait here. We do get the shield, and our opponent is going to get CAP tied here. We're going to go for another Seed Bomb bait. We do get that last shield, so double baits right there ends up coming in clutch because now we are confirmed that this Trevenant is pretty good for what they have in the back. We're going to throw on CAP tie again, and we're going to be able to take out this Venusaur by throwing a Shadow Ball. So, and in fact, they do have something super weak to this Trevenant. Ends up being the Lantern. Lantern is going to have to tank this Seed Bomb right here, and then we're going to immediately switch into our Registeel, which has full energy. Zap Cannon for the boom, and that is GG's right there. The end game right there worked to perfection, especially having our Registeel leave with basically 100 energy. All right, next game here, we have the Shadow Ninetales here. We're going to stay in because we don't really have a good counter to this except for a Registeel. Unfortunately, it's in the back. So we're going to get this Hydro Cannon off to get at least one shield. So not bad for what it's worth. We're going to go into our Registeel. They swap out into their Medicham here. We're going to swap out into our Trevenant. This is a good matchup for us. We're going to shield here because we don't want this Trevenant low enough to where that Ninetales could just use one charge move to take us out. We're going to go for this Shadow Ball here to absolutely take out this Medicham. Expecting Ninetales? Oh, unfortunately for us, it is hard counter for a hard counter. So our opponent ends up having the Mandibuzz in the back. This Mandibuzz, unfortunately, is going to be really good against our Trevenant. We try to switch out right there. Unfortunately, they had the move right on time. And now we got to hope this Registeel can basically get to 3 charge moves. We're going to go for this Focus Blast right here. Okay, we do get a shield, which is great. And right here, we have a decision to make. Do we go for the Zap Cannon here, but end up with little energy, or do we go for the Focus Blast here and potentially try to farm down? So we decided to go for the Focus Blast right here, hoping it does enough damage so that we can just farm down. And unfortunately, we do not avoid the Dark Pulse damage right there. If we are able to farm down right there and avoid that Dark Pulse damage, maybe we were being able to beat this Ninetales here in the back, especially since we tanked one Weather Ball. We for sure would have been able to take another one. So check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.